Hello! Before I'm going to begin my speech about making silence visible, I will ask you to be silent with me for a moment. Of course, I know that this is a recording and you'll be watching it probably on YouTube. But anyway, I ask you to be with me in silence for a moment. And of course, you can fast forward. You can fast forward to the point where I start talking again. This is your freedom, this is your choice, and I will probably not know. So, anyway, I ask you to be silent with me for a moment before I start my speech. So, we live in a world where silence is difficult to find. In 1960s, there were measured in hospitals 57 decibels at daytime, and as we're moving towards our own age this time, it's measured to 72 decibels. And at nighttime, the distance between 42 in 1960, measured in 1960, to 60, measured, I don't know exact years, but I think it's 2010, shows that at least our world has not become more quiet and it's not become more easy to find silence. There's also very few places on earth you find silence. There's measured that there's in the state of, I thought it was, Washington, you would have 15 points where you could have 15 minutes of silence. I mean, silence being defined as no human sounds entering, like airplanes, motorcycles, gunshots. None of these. And according to the research, now it's only 3 places left in Washington. So everywhere it is noise or action or something happening, craving our attention. It's advertisements, it's traffic signs, it's windows. There's cars coming, passing us by. There is mobile telephones with their ringtones. There is music from the neighbors next door. And maybe if you're sitting on a bus, you can hear what's coming out of the earphones of the person sitting in front of you. Well, if you can hear it, it's almost a sign that that person has probably hurt his hearing already. And that could be the solution to a world where there is much more noise everywhere, that we simply ruin our hearing. Well, there's other people coming in, they want something from you, they talk to you, they expect something from you, and there's the next appointment, and there's something you need to buy for dinner, and there is that new iPhone or iPad or whatever you need. And if the outer world is not enough, we also have internet and the virtual world. And again, I say, what worries me is not all the bad stuff on internet. What worries me is all the good stuff, because there is such an amount of information that I want to see it all. I want to know it all. In search of a hopeless quest for the last page of interesting information on internet. So, what is the consequence of being constantly bombarded by sounds, noises, distractions? Well, it could possibly turn into stress. And this stress will make us tired. And this tiredness might grow into fatigue. And our immune system might be not so well functioning after a while. And since we don't have the proper time to recharge, we will be more vulnerable to illness or different kind of mental states like depressions. If cure is the illness, what could, well, if noise is the illness, what could possibly be the cure? Maybe silence could be the cure. Maybe not doing could be the cure. Maybe just being could be the cure. Maybe stopping up for a moment, breathing, just being aware of our breathing, standing still, shutting off the rest of the world and all its demands on us. So, my proposal is that we make a silent circle and that we invite our friends to join this circle. A silent circle, it's cheap to make. A silent circle is easy to make. And if you want to make a silent circle, you already have all you need. I'm going to walk through what a silent circle is, and then you can see if this is something for you. Well, you got to choose a time and place. If you choose after work, evening, it's different than if you are doing this in the bright light of the morning. Or if you do it in a lunch break, it will be different than if you do it under a full moon. It will be different in summer, it will be different in winter. In the beginning of spring will be different than when the autumn leaves are falling. Indoors, outdoors, there will be differences. If you do it in a park, or on a hillside, or in the forest, or if you do it on the beach, with the waves rolling in and with the seagulls up above, the silence will be different. Or if you do it in a library, or a school, or a busy train station. The first step is to choose the time and place. The second step is to choose for how long you want the silence. I would suggest 1 hour, but if that is too long, half an hour is a good secondary choice. If not, 15 minutes. But silence needs a certain amount of time to work. So let's see if we can get back this, give it this frame. Give this silence a frame. Then you invite all your friends and use whatever means you need. Be it Facebook, be it emails, telephones, personal invitations, posters, flyers. Use whatever you feel is good for you. And then, on the day of silence, on the day of the silent circle itself, maybe you have some people coming with you and they're there a bit before. Anyway, you should be there a bit before. Maybe you can ask somebody to help you welcome the people into the circle and to make it easy for them to join. Maybe you make some posters with silent circle, welcome to join. Maybe you make some flyers that you can pass out to the passers-by and saying it's okay to join. This might help you not having to spend so many words to explain. But should you need to explain, then whisper. Use that silent, listening voice. And you can tell the others that's part of this that whispering is okay. But don't make it into a conversation. Make it for short messages. It's okay if people want to sit or stand, if they want to do it with eyes closed or eyes open. Maybe you want to do some yoga stretchings before you go into the silence. And if somebody needs to read something in order to keep quiet, that might be also okay. But look that it's something that is quiet. I suggest you begin on time and you end on time. And that everybody knows this time. Making a silent circle is like making silence visible. What's happening in the silent circle? Some will close their eyes, some will look at the others, some will sit down, some will be standing up, some might need to stretch, some will change their places, but let all this happen in silence. Making a silent circle is making silence visible. It's cheap, you don't need any special skills. Except maybe the skill of not doing, the skill of just being. And this can be a challenge. So don't judge the others in the circle. Don't judge. Rather, show the way by doing, by being the silence yourself. Being silent is not the end. It is a step towards listening, doing nothing, just being. A step toward becoming aware, more aware of you and the others. And that space between us, where nothing is, where everything can happen. It's a step towards becoming more aware of your senses, of your breathing, of your core being. It's a way to escape the numbing of the senses by all the time being bombarded by voices, questions, cars, sounds, images. Instead of being caught by the numbing of the senses, we might in the beginning sense our numbness. And sensing that numbness is a step towards shedding it. Shedding all that is not silence. And becoming more human, alive being. So, if choosing a time and space and inviting your friends is too much, try it alone, just where you are. If going somewhere else is too much, do it where you are. In front of the computer screen, in front of the window, with a candle as your company. If an hour seems too long, try half an hour, try 15 minutes, try 10 minutes, 5 minutes, even 1 minute with beginning and ending. It's okay, just start. Maybe the effect will not be something that you sense right away. Maybe you will have to do it again, once more, and again, before you sense a very subtle changing in you. As a change that cannot be spoken. Then you might sense this change in yourself, and you might sense it in the others. As I leave you, I will give you again the invitation to join me in a silent circle for a moment. Of course, you can leave me right now. Of course, you can fast forward to the end of this speech, or you can do whatever you like. You can go for a walk or for a cup of tea. I will not know. I just invite you to spend a moment with me in front of your screen, just being silent listening to the sound coming from here, from your computer, and maybe listening to the sounds around you. Yes, I left my window open. I wanted that to be a part of this speech. So, I invite you again, join me for a moment of listening.